Hi, good evening. Welcome to the John Gaunt Show. Anarchy in the UK. There's no other word term to sort of sum up what is happening this afternoon here in the United Kingdom. What do you make of these protests in Birmingham? 700 coppers to control these thugs, the Palestinian thugs. Listen, the game is basically ruined anyway because you didn't want the Tel Aviv Maccabi fans there, and they're not going to be there. But now what we've got is signs on lampposts basically saying no Zionists. How has this been allowed to happen in Britain, that we've got a position where a significant number of our community, i.e. the Jewish community, are banned from going to this football match? It's absolutely outrageous. Now, I know Starmer was against this happening and the team not being able to bring their fans. What difference would it have made if you had to put 700 coppers there tonight, or riot vans? They've closed down schools early. I'll tell you what this is. This is appeasement to Islamist fascists. That's what it is. Not that every Muslim is one of them, but there's an amount of people in Birmingham and indeed across the country who are using this game for absolute political gain. And Starmer, that's why, even though he was against it, he should have been in the UK tonight. This is another thing that he's run away from, including the mess that Lam is making. Mark my words, I think it will probably kick off. I don't want it to, but I think it could. I've been watching it building over the afternoon. Incredible the amount of police they've had to put there. So I'm basically saying Britain is on fire. Last night, there were protests, or I don't know if there were protests, there was, violence against the police in Birmingham, fireworks being chucked at them, a riot. What's it going to be like tonight? The Maccabi team had to come in undercover, basically, in a non-marked bus. I don't want to live in that kind of Britain. I don't want third world conflict on our street. I thought the reason these people, or their relatives, or their forebears came to our country was to live in a free, liberal democracy. We have appeased this nonsense too much, as you can tell. I'm on fire. Do you believe the game should be on tonight? I think it should have been, but with opposition fans there as well. I believe that if they weren't willing to accept that, the protest should have been banned. And once Tel Aviv, or Maccabi Tel Aviv, whatever they're called, once they decided they weren't going to have any tickets, then any kind of protest should have been verboten. How come we've got a situation where they're basically playing behind closed doors? Brummies, Villa fans can watch it. Oh, as long as they're not Jews, of course. But Maccabi have got no fans there. How can that be fair? The answer is it's not. And don't give me this rubbish about the hooliganism in Amsterdam. That was both sides involved in that. I've been in hooliganism riots in Amsterdam. It's terrifying, I'll tell you. Their fans are violent. They are. The Ajax fans, for example. So what I'm just saying is, I think Israel and the Jewish people have been totally let down by our government. They're our closest ally. And what's all this bullshit about free Palestine? I thought we just spent hundreds of millions freeing it. I thought we're the ones who basically got Israel to the table, aren't we? Us, Trump, the West. So why are they still protesting? Why aren't they thinking about how they can rebuild Palestine? And I noticed the BBC are covering it in their usual biased way. They make me sick. I'm so angry about this. We don't want politics in sport. And when people say, oh, it's like the ban on apartheid South Africa, I'm sorry. There is no apartheid in Israel. There is not. It's bullshit. It's propaganda. You go to somewhere like Tel Aviv, which is where this team's from, there's a mixture of people. I'm not saying it's not some of the aspect of it. Just like in our country, we've got racism. Of course there is. But why have we bent over and allowed these Islamists to shaft us? And that's what's happening. Let me tell you. And if I get banned, I'll get banned. But I'm saying what I feel tonight. And I want you to say it as well. And if you disagree with me, do the same. Have a go at me. That's fine. But I saw one of those solicitors who looked after the Manchester airport thugs. Do you remember? And he was basically saying to people, look, if you're going to take a baseball bat, make sure you take a ball because you've got to say it's for sport. If that wasn't incitement, he should have been lifted at that point. And now we've got people outside the villa. And you know me, I've got no time for the villa. Normally, outside the villa, creating mayhem. There's going to be a riot. Of course there is. And the ironic thing is, I'd imagine the Villa fans might end up fighting these nutcases, which, again, I don't want. But how ironic would that be? And most of the problem here has been caused by that spineless amoeba of a chief constable. You know, the one who loves to put on a costume to say he's in with the community, whether it's a Sikh turban or a Muslim hat. He makes me sick. Your job is to police without favour and without grace to anyone. Treat them properly. Treat them fairly. Why wasn't anyone arrested when they were putting up these signs? Have you seen them? No Zionists. If you see a Zionist, report them. It's just madness. This is happening in Birmingham. I love Birmingham. I bloody went to university there. I worked there for ages. And I particularly like Brummies. I don't particularly like Villa fans, but I love the Blues Noses. I love them. There's no problem. But this is in Aston. And if the chief constable was saying there could have been trouble if Maccabee had come and brought their fans, what's he think's going to happen tonight, the prat? Yes, what they're after here is they want to, if they've controlled this game, which they effectively have, what happens if Birmingham get the Commonwealth Games again? Or they get a big sporting event? Will they be saying, Israel can't come? Israel are a genocidal, what do they say? Genocidal and apartheid state. They can't take part. They're just like Russia. They're nothing like fucking Russia. They're our ally. And we have just helped Israel to come to their senses. And we've been supporting the Palestinian people, even though there's no such thing as a Palestinian state. And even though they didn't give up their hostages way too late. What is wrong with this country under Starmer? Why is he away again? Why is he hiding? Why isn't he here to be on top of this tonight? Did you see he's just made a speech about, oh, yeah, some people in my country are in denial about about green issues. How dare he talk like that about us? He should be here dealing with the present problems. For example, this is why I'm saying it's anarchy in the UK. We've got nonsense. We've got paedophiles being let out of prison, left, right, and centre. Convicted people. We've had to drag Keir Starmer screaming and kicking to get a full public inquiry into the grooming stroke rape gangs. Why? Are they worried about their Muslim vote that it won't hold up? Well, of course they are. But this is disgusting because we're talking about a tolerant, a liberal society. I don't want Sharia law. I don't want women going around looking like 17th century Daleks. If they want that, stay where they come from. But why have we bent to this? It's a serious question. Have you got a view on it? And then let me add some more bits in tonight. Then we've got Stockport. Evidently, tonight they're just reporting the Cenotaph, the memorial, in the week of Remembrance Day, has been set on fire. The bins there, and they've put loads of other stuff against it. I just hope that is just yobbos. And even then, I'd want them birched. But if it's not yobbos, I don't want this to be some kind of political free Palestine gesture. And then what annoys me is The organisers of tonight, who are costing the people of Birmingham and the rest of us an absolute bloody fortune, they're saying they want it to be peaceful. They're saying it's a peaceful protest. It don't look like that to me. Like the other week, when people were not allowed to march, then suddenly a load of young or radical Muslim youths marched in a kind of paramilitary way, all dressed in black. Last night, in the protests if they were protests, in the riots in Birmingham, they were all masked up. The police should have gone in very, very heavy-handed. But you see, they need direction for that, Starmer, and that's why it all comes back on you. You and your stupid, liberal, rainbow laces view of the world. You make me sick. You're taking this country down, down, down. Oh, and then another thing. All the liberals, I'll be finished in a minute and you can have your say. Just write your comments there. It's the John Gaunt show. You know it is. Listen, what about all the liberals all week going on about, oh, I see there's been no boat people this week. No flip-flop warriors. There haven't been any for about 10 days. Oh, it's the weather. The weather changes today. Do you know how many people have come in today, just today, illegally? At least 600, and the boats are still coming because the channel is calm. This country is going to hell in a handcart. It was going this way with the Tories, but Starmer's done nothing to arrest it. And then we have the Deputy Prime Minister, the Secretary of State for Prisons or whatever else he is, fat, lardy arse, forgotten his name, Lammy, basically lying in the Commons yesterday. There's no two ways about it. He was lying. He knew another one had been let out. Why are they doing this? Why are they gaslighting it? And why will I end up probably on a charge for racism? Although nothing I've said tonight is racist. I'm asking for tolerance. I'm asking for us all to live together. And I'm asking for the beautiful game, football, to be played without any of this shit. And I lay the blame for what's happening, or if what does happen, it's going to kick off, isn't it? I leave that with the Chief Constable of the West Midlands. I leave it on his shoulders and on Keir Starmer. And then, as I say, there's the Cenotaph story. I'll try and keep you up to date with that as we progress. This is very much, as you can probably tell, straight off the cuff tonight. I wasn't sure. I was thinking, well, maybe I should wait and see. I've got my telephone on with the TV on it so that I can see if anything does develop. But I was going to leave it and thought, well, I'll do it tomorrow. But no. Why should we be cowed? Why should the good people of Birmingham, wherever their religion, be afraid to come out tonight? The answer is they shouldn't. It's an absolute disgrace. And you know, if you appease a crocodile, it just means you don't get eaten straight away. This Islamist, and listen to what I'm saying, I'm not against Muslim. This fanatical Islamist nonsense has to be stopped. We have to say no more. I mean, at the same time, Rudy Cabana's parents have been in the dock today in the inquiry into him. He was obviously completely off the rails, and they did sweet FA about it. Let's get them actually in a dock. And if it kicks tonight, I say get the Chief Constable of the West Midlands in the dock. He has helped create this. It's absolutely outrageous. Sport should be above all this. And by giving in to them like this, we've now got a real problem. Are you with me or against me? Put a comment and we're going to go to them now. Thanks for pressing the like button. That's going a storm. Loads of people watching. Brilliant stuff. And if you want to help me out, don't forget you can donate. Just click the little padlock underneath the video and donate whatever you fancy. Alternatively, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. That's what I want to hear. But I'm saying there's anarchy in the UK, and I'm saying our Prime Minister and this Labour government, as per usual, have run away from it. Unlike our brave coppers tonight, who will have to run to it, this charlatan, this arsehole, has run away, and he's giving a lecture about green politics. The only problem is India aren't there, China aren't there, and nor is the United States of America. He's just whistling in the wind. It's all bullshit. It's all showbiz. And you're paying for it. Are you happy? Because I'm not. Right, let's go. Islam is calling the shots and it'll only get worse in this country, says Denise Deacon. I'm not so sure it's Islam, but it's radical Islam. Yes, Denise, I agree with you. She's on Facebook. So much happening with these piece of religion anti-football fanatics. It's an effing disgrace, says Den Spinks. Precisely. They're kicking off already, says Sci-Hat W2SV. I just want to look at that on my phone. Is that true? The citizen journalist Young Bob, oh, he's an arse though, isn't he? Has already been assaulted and then he was arrested. You can't make it up. That's true. I'm not sure about him though. If I'm honest with you, Elric plays games 4701. The protest should certainly have been banned. This is feeling more and more like Germany of the 30s in the UK now. Yeah, I know where you're coming from, Elric, but I don't like banning protests because I believe in free speech. I believe you should be able to say the Quran is a load of shit. I believe you should say the same about the Torah or the Jewish book or the Bible because I don't believe in it. So I don't want that banned. That's the problem. But these fanatics are taking advantage of our free speech and our liberalism. Just like the ones, people who are getting in at Dover. 600 today at Dover. The world has gone mad. Richard Pope, good evening, John. Good to know your mother-in-law is okay. Thank you, my friend. Well, I wouldn't say okay, but not in hospital. Seems like we have to take second place as far as the NHS is concerned. This is all the government doing. When I mentioned the NHS earlier, Richard, I was just saying there's too many people in the country and not enough funding. I'm not blaming any ethnic minority for that. That would be unfair of me, especially when you look at the United Nations of the healthcare professionals. And indeed, when I had my sepsis and nearly died, I would have died if it wasn't for the National Health and if it wasn't for the fact that they were all women who looked after me. And it wasn't a pleasant thing to look after, I can tell you. And I know from the Asian lady who every morning learnt my name and brought me a cup of tea, or right through to the top woman dealing with sepsis, all they wanted to do was make me better. And that is fantastic. So let's just keep that clear. Maggie Young, absolutely fuming. These idiots demonstrating at our British football games. Football is our non-political family time. I think you're right, Maggie. I mean, there have been protests with rugby before. Coventry, there was a famous riot at Cowden Road when the Springboks came. But there's a difference here, and they're comparing it to South Africa, which was an apartheid regime. Can't deny it. But to make out Israel it's just a lie. It's just nonsense. Right, where are we going next? I'm going to blow a fuse in a minute. Jake Morton Brown, evening, Gaunty. Hope you're doing well and everything's all right on the family front. Yes, thank you, Jake. Denise Deacon, Islam is using the left for its own purposes, but lefty liberals are too stupid to see it. I must admit, I often think that when you got a lefty liberal supporting them, they'd be the first ones getting kicked off the tower block roof, wouldn't they? I love those signs when you see when it gets, pardon my language, when it says queers for Palestine. I thought, oh yeah, that's fine. We'll see what happens. It's just nonsense. Look, we live in a liberal, tolerant society. No one cares about you if you're gay or you're Muslim or you're Sikh or Christian or Jew. I don't give a shit. Just get on with it. Try not to block all the roads on a Friday when you go into the, what do you call it? Temple, whatever it is you do your silly religion in. But don't make out that we hate you, because we don't. And up until 9/11 and 7/7, I didn't know any of these things. I wasn't bothered. I don't mind my kids learning about Diwali and the Hindu faith and Buddhism and Muslim. I don't mind that. It's good. Get them educated about the major religions. That's fine. But it's suddenly now, if you're a Christian, it's almost as if you're the minority. It's just mad. And the bleeding heart liberals love it, and they'd be the first. Having a flying lesson. Let's move on. Elric plays games 4701. If the gloves are off, then remember that the Islamics are genociding Christians in Nigeria at around 4,000 deaths a year at the moment. That's a very good point. It's horrendous what's happening there in Nigeria and in Sudan. But you're not allowed to mention it, Elric. Because don't you realise it's only fat, white Christian blokes who are horrible. Everybody else is lovely. Look at the BBC coverage of the Palestinian conflict. They've just been done for it. Completely biased. Is anyone going to am I going to work this hard and you're not going to donate any money? Oh, and by the way, this is the second show of the day because I couldn't do a show last night. I'd done one earlier. So have a look at that after this show. I think it's pretty good, to be honest with you. Have a look at that one as well. So that's in the bag already. And now it's my second show of the day. Surely that's worth a fiver of your money. www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt or click the $sign. Please help me out. I can't keep doing this without it turning me $1, if you know what I mean. And I was just trying to remember what I talked about earlier. I've forgotten. What's the show about earlier? It was good, but I can't remember what it was about. Just shows you how it works. It'll come back to me in a minute. I'm still not 100%, obviously, with my COVID, stroke cold, stroke man flu, whatever it was. History has shown us. Now, I like this. This is Graham Hatton. He's a very intelligent participant. History has shown us what appeasement can lead to, John. I think it's a disgrace. The government are absolutely shit scared of upsetting certain demographics. Now they've smelt blood, it'll only get worse. Appeasing tyrants leads to more conflict and hatred. Again, now this is good, Graham. It's a two-tier approach. It's shameful, mate. Thank you. If you've got the telly on and you're watching it while I'm talking to you, feel free. And if it is kicking off, just let me know. I've got it on my phone, but that Michelle Dewberry thinks it's more important to talk about something else. I don't know what she's talking about. Anyway, I'll put it right. I'll put it right when they get me to go there and save that station. Joke. Jake Morton Brown, he's clearly not here because then he might actually have to deal with the plebs. Never mind the Villa riots. I reckon heads will turn with this new ridiculous budget that's going to screw us even further. You're right, Jake. She's now going to start. If you bought an electric car, it's classic this. You buy an electric car, which is what they've been telling us to do. They're now going to charge you 3 pence a mile road tax for driving it. It's just bonkers. Why doesn't somebody just wake up and say, hey, do you know what? Miliband's a twat. He's got it all completely wrong. We're going to be on the side of the motorists. We're going to be on the side of the family. We're going to be on the side of the farmers who produce our food. And we're going to be on the side of our armed forces. You'd be a shoo-in, wouldn't you? You'd be an absolute shoo-in. But no. Let's all go to Brazil on a big fat freebie. Den Spinks, I wish this religion of piss would vaporize. Well, I can understand where you're coming from, but there's no need to be horrid because a lot of people might believe in the religion and that's fine. That's the kind of country we live in. You can freedom of choice when it comes to religion. I think it's rubbish, but that's life. And I also don't think that every Muslim is a terrorist. So be very careful about this. David KT, as a 14-year army veteran, including the 1991 Gulf War, and as a Coventry-born lad that went to college in Birmingham in the early 70s, this isn't the country I recognise anymore. And it breaks my heart. What do you think of that? That's David KT. Thank you very much indeed for your comment. I'm just trying to check. What did I talk about earlier? Because I've bloody forgotten now. Hold on a second. I'm just checking on my phone. Oh, it was Starmer, wasn't it? And it was about stopping collecting the air miles and sack Lammy. I'll take some views on that as well if you got them. What a state we're in. I'm saying it's anarchy in the UK and we haven't got a government to get on top of it. Den Spink says this is when Enoch Powell was right in his speech, yet they all called him racist back then. Well, yeah, but there were elements of his language that was, and he wasn't completely right. Let's not rewrite history. I'm not saying that a lot of what he said wasn't correct, but it's maybe the way he framed it, or more that not the way he framed it, the way that people then interpreted what he said. Yeah. That's what I think about that. But I don't see that Enoch Powell is the be-all and end-all of it. Richard Pope does, though. He says, Den Spinks, we need Enoch now. Thank you. I'm not paying for it, says the Saxon, 2266. You are. Because if you live in Birmingham, your rates are going to go through, whatever you call them now, going to go through the roof. Can you believe it? They've got 700 coppers at this today. 700 controlling them. And it's not even as if there's football hooliganism. There's no one to fight. It's wrong, isn't it? And if they want to protest about Israel, why are they doing it in Birmingham? Why are they doing it? They won. They won that argument because Tel Aviv Maccabi, whatever Maccabi Tel Aviv, aren't allowed to bring their fans. So you've won. So why are you now carrying on about it? It's likewise, you've got what you wanted. You're going to have the recognition of Palestine if you behave yourselves. It would help if you didn't keep paying and supporting revolutionaries. It's not revolutionaries, sorry, fascists like Hamas, wouldn't it? Don't you think? They are now caging people. Who are? Says ADBB. Who's saying that? Israel is actually a successful multicultural democracy. They even have Arab Israeli Supreme Court judges. They also have them in the IDF as well. You're right. Sci-Hat WO2SV on YouTube. You're correct. And they reckon cities like, I've never been, but they reckon cities like Tel Aviv are actually very, very liberal in their whole attitude. They were one of the first nations that were comfortable with the homosexual marriage and the rest of it. I've never understood the hatred of Jews. I haven't. And they love to have that division, the Zionists and the Jews. We're not anti-Jews. We're not anti-Semite. We're just anti-Zionist. They use that as an excuse. Or maybe I'm thick and I don't understand. Oh, by the way, it's payday on the 12th, John. I shall be buying you some coffees. Thank you, Graham Hatton. That's very kind of you. No one's bought me one tonight. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I come on, all guns blazing, and people just sit there. Maybe I just bombard them too much. I don't know. I have to change me. Maybe I've got to change my style. Who started in the war? Excuse me. This is Pam, a big supporter of my show. Who started the war in Israel has got lost in the past. It was an Islamic terrorist group, Hamas, bombing against the Jewish people, then hiding amongst the Palestinian people. The Jewish government has only been defending itself against Hamas. That's certainly one view, Pam. A lot of people might disagree with you, but we should be able to have that grown-up conversation, shouldn't we? Angel Dark, 68. I can't believe what's going on in Birmingham. That lawyer was inciting violence. That's the guy who looked after the Manchester thugs. You mean him? Which was wrecked over the innocents at 4:30 in the morning. And it's time to ban fireworks for good now, says Angel. Now, that's something I was talking about earlier. I was talking about fireworks and firework nights and why do people need to have these massive fireworks at home? It's just nonsense. And also, displays now, they can all be replaced with drone displays. Well, am I just becoming an old fart? I was saying in the show earlier that to me, firework night was always about it being cold. It was always about your mum making loads of hot dogs, jacket potatoes with beans and cheese in them, and a few sparklers in the garden. Your dad smoking a number 10, trying to light the Catherine wheel with his bloody fag and failing. They go, yeah. Fireworks were crap in those days, but I think we probably had more fun. Then we started going to displays, didn't we? But now people try to do a firework display in the back garden. Morons is what I call them. I couldn't believe last night. I really couldn't believe it. Anyway, you might disagree. Oh, here's the first contributor of the night, John Godley. Thank you, John. He sent a super sticker for a $5 via YouTube. He just clicked on that $ and he's put a $5 in the pot. John, thank you very much. I wish this cold would go. I just get going, just get the juices going, and suddenly I'm coughing like I don't know what. I do apologise. John Godley, 2459, thank you for your contribution of a $5. Anybody else want to join in before I go? I'll be going soon. 20. This weird as well. This got more people watching, but I've only got 24 likes. What's all that about them? I don't know. I thought this was a cracking show. I'm just looking as well. Anybody watching the telly? Has anything happened so far? 700 coppers from all over the country have come to police. I was going to say this match, but it's not a match. It's a protest. I'm saying it's a symbol of anarchy in the UK, that Britain is on fire. And we don't seem to have a prime minister who cares. He's too busy hugging a tree or something or someone than actually dealing with the problem. He makes me sick. Pipo Dieo. John, I honestly think there's no way back from all this mess that we are in. I tell you what, I don't know if your name is Pipo or Pippo. I tell you one thing though, mate. I share a lot of that. I try to fight it, because if you don't, you're just going to give up, aren't you? But when I saw the TV this afternoon with all the riot wagons, hundreds of them in Birmingham. I mean, I've been to the Villa loads of times. It's normally been pretty depressing because they nick all our best players and they often beat us. They sent us down, of course. But when you see those streets full of, I was going to call them paddy wagons. I don't know if you're allowed to call them that or if that's racist. When you see all those coppers, it's just going to kick off. It kicked off last night, didn't it? And what makes these people think they've got the right to terrorise not just everybody in that community? Because people say, oh, well, it's a very big Muslim community. Yes, it is. That doesn't mean that many Muslims won't be terrified with all this violence, because they will. They will. These people, and that lawyer guy, we know what he is. He's a shit stirrer. I think he even got the sack. I might be wrong on this, but I think he got the sack from the Manchester Yobbos. He's just stirring it up. Why can't we live in peace and harmony? Look, you can have strong views on Palestinian and the Israeli conflict. Of course you can. And still live in this country. I haven't got a problem with that. But don't stop me having my view. And we're getting to a point now in society where a minority of a minority, yeah? So it's these extreme Islamists are dictating the agenda. I should think most Muslims think, oh, shut the fuck up, will you? Leave us alone. We're enjoying our life. Our life's good. It's a lot better than where we came from. And then that ties in with the Dover Flip-Flop Brigade. 600 came in. Terry Christian, I know Terry well. I employed him once. But what an arse he is. He's been going on about, oh, you gammon. You're as thick as a submarine door. No one's coming. Did he think that overnight they'd been in Calais and they'd seen one or two people come back and then go back again, and they'd seen people being let out of prison? They thought, oh, we won't bother going now. Keir Starmer's found his spine. Oh, he's a hard case. I ain't going to mess with him. Or did you think, thought, fucking hell, the channel's rough. I'm not going over there at the moment. I would suggest it was the latter. Because today, at least 600, and they reckon it could end up being 1,000 people, have broken into our country illegally. Where's Keir Starmer? He's on a jolly. If you want to talk about it, I want to hear from you. Cy Hat, what a man. He's just donated a £5. It comes up as $4.99. Don't ask me why. But thank you, Cy. You're a top man. If you want to follow his example, please click the padlock. It's not a padlock. It's a $sign, isn't it? And donate some money tonight. It'd be really, really appreciated. Or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. And also, I noticed on Facebook, I was mentioning this earlier in the earlier show, people are subscribing to my Facebook page and also paying to be followers. And just 99p or something. Great. I've never had the money off Facebook, but maybe you've got to get to 50 quid or 100 quid. I don't know. Anyway, thank you. Whichever way you're trying to help me, it's brilliant. Let me and Richard Pope meet you and send you some money via your PayPal. Well, if you want to send money via PayPal, all you do is go on the coffee. Go on to www.buymeacoffee.com and donate money there, because you can use your credit card, or I think you can use PayPal on that as well. I don't want to give out my PayPal direct account. And also, I like to keep it all neat and tidy, because obviously you've got to tell the tax man about that. And I don't want to get in the shit with him. Anyway, that's what you could do. There's plenty of protesters at the football, but it hasn't kicked off yet. What, the football or the violence? Thank you, Jackie, for your information. Google that lawyer. Apparently, he's up on corruption charges next year. I don't know about that, Si, so let's be a little bit careful because he's obviously up on the law and I don't want to be done by him. Don't know if it's true, but somebody rang Talk Radio saying riots are happening in the surrounding areas of Birmingham. Yeah, there was a few arrests earlier, wasn't there? I mean, the police are obviously thinking it is going to happen. But you see, I'm annoyed that we're spending out on 700 coppers. Imagine what that bill is. Now, normally in football, if it's in the ground, I think the clubs pay for it, don't they? And now, largely, hooliganism doesn't happen outside the grounds. But this is a protest where they're not going to the football. They're going to stand outside the villa and scream abuse about somewhere thousands of miles away. There's not even going to be any Israeli fans there because they've not been allowed to buy tickets. So what's the point of the protest? The point of the protest is to say, we're here, we can do that. And I don't know about you, that frightens the hell out of me. That's like Labour so concerned about that particular vote. It's worrying times, guys. It really is. Well, I'm going to finish in a minute. Mick Frinton-on-Sea, I sent you some stars. We're the top of the league, and I hope Villa lose. Do you know what? I hope tonight that Tel Aviv Maccabi, whatever they're called, I hope they really slap Villa's arse. Not because I don't like the Villa, but because then it won't shut up the protesters, but they'll carry on in the competition. These people, these students, these great unwashed, this scum on the streets of Birmingham, they won't be happy until they've got all the Jews out of Israel. Remember the chant? From the river to the sea. Why can't they live in peace and harmony? I'm just looking at the telly there. Increased presence outside Villa Park in Birmingham as the protesters gather. Yeah, kickoff's not even till 8 o'clock. What are stars, by the way, on Facebook? But thank you for sending them, Mick. No way are we not going to protest when Jewish people are told to not go. This isn't Germany in the 30s. Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't protest. I think it's wrong. I think they should have been allowed to buy tickets. I thought it was disgraceful. I never get it was the spineless amoeba chief constable who caused this problem. Even Keir Starmer had a backbone that day and he said it was wrong. Lisa Carvel, thank you, my darling. She sent me £2 via YouTube. Thank you very much. Every penny counts. Really like it. Thank you very much. Great show. Great show once again. John, says Den Spinks. Thank you. David KT, I think he's in America. I subscribed this afternoon, John, on Facebook. Did you get it? I don't know. I don't even know how to check, but I'll have a look afterwards. And Warwick Milne, we'll finish with you. The first stop to solving a problem is to admit you have one. Until we do that, we're stuffed. It works for religious extremism, economic incompetence, political bias, bonkers immigration, anything. We are a mess. Warwick, I agree with you entirely. Very, very good comment. Thank you very much indeed for it. Right, I'm packing up now. Am I in time for EastEnders still? What time is it? What time is it? Can't even see. I can normally see it on my computer. I can't see it today. What is it? 19:11. Yeah, that's enough. You've had 41 minutes. Keep an eye on what happens. If it really does kick off tonight, I'll probably do a show in the morning to react to it. Of course, it's Friday. I don't normally do a show on a Friday at 6:30 because I'm normally in the pub. And I tell you what, after the week I've had, please forgive me. I need to have a few jars with my mates. So that's what I'll be doing. Maggie Young, she's just given 5 golden claps. Thank you for that, Maggie. Play up, Sky Blue. And Jackie Ward, she's given me the 3 red hearts. Always a sign that it's time to stop. I do apologise. Right, that's me done. Lots of food for thought. If you want to comment, I tell you one thing that's really kicking off is John Gaunt TV, my YouTube channel. People now comment there. Now, sometimes go on, there's 50 or 60 comments. And I try to answer them all, even if it's only one word. I read everything you say. to get a feeling whether it's right. So don't forget, the best way you can help me is by supporting John Gaunt TV on YouTube. Just go to it, a sign comes up, a pop-up comes if you haven't already subscribed, and it says, would you like to subscribe? Say yes. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. And we're just building the numbers. And the more subscribers you get, the better the algorithm helps you get more viewers. That's just how it works. So thank you for doing that. Of course, if you want to donate, you can do it everywhere now. Facebook, you can do it also by clicking the little $ here on the YouTube video, or you can go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. Whichever way you want to do it, and whatever amount of money, it's all valuable. It all means I can build this, and it really is building. 1.8 million views now. We're going to hit 2 million in the next few days, and it's down to you and your support. Tell all your friends about it. Make sure you share all the videos, etc., etc. What's this one say? Richard Pope, might as well donate to Gaunty. Rachel Thieves will have it anyway. Very true, my friend. Good night, John, says Pam Millett. Oh, it's like the Waltons. Good night, John boy. Thank you, Pam. Right, I'm off. I'll see you tomorrow. I can smell garlic. Lisa must be cooking something really nice. I think my sense of smell is only just coming back. That's a lovely smell. Do I sound like Hannibal Lecter now? Ooh, a nice Chianti. What a film. What a film. Oh, I'll tell you what I did watch last night. Just a little recommendation for you. Shetland is back on the telly. I didn't like the last series when the two women took over, but actually I'm growing into it. First episode last night was a cracker. A cracker. No, that's another detective program, but the late, great Robbie. But anyway, going back to Shetland, certainly worth watching. Oh, and I'll tell you something else I'm watching at the moment. Down Cemetery Road. It's by the Mick Herron, the same guy who wrote what's the one with Gary Oldman in? They're all spies. Brilliant. Anyway, it's on Amazon, and I've watched 2 of the episodes. The third one dropped last night. I didn't watch it last night because of all the pandemonium that was going on here, but I'll watch it tonight. It's got Emma Thompson in it. Yeah, don't let that put you off. But the rest of the cast, brilliant. I mean, she's a great actress. She's just an arse, isn't she? But Down Cemetery Road, it's called, set in Oxford. But I was reading about it yesterday. Excuse me, set in Oxford, and it looks like Oxford, but it's actually filmed in Bristol. I found that a bit bonkers, but there we are. Maybe it's too expensive. It probably is because they've just put a congestion charge in Oxford, haven't they? Twats. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, it'll be an early show tomorrow. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Don't forget to tell them you love them. Thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it. Good night.